I'm bringing back a simple dish that's a classic in itself, and that's chicken cutlets. Easily dipped in seasoned flour, pan-sear it with some butter and oil, and then I'm going to serve it with some broccolini. The bright zest and flavor of fresh squeezed lemon juice and a little white wine is on the menu today. So stay with me throughout the hour as we cook up some delicious chicken cutlets and some lemon-zested broccolini. I'll be back in just a few minutes to show you how. Okay, we're ready to really jump into this. I have some chicken breasts that are already sauteing. I'll get back to that in a minute. But in this pan over here, I quickly sauteed some sliced mushrooms, just some button mushrooms. Season the mushrooms at the end. If you put the salt in the beginning, it draws all that juice out of the mushrooms. It'll make a runny dish. So now we're going to add just a teeny bit more olive oil, about, I'd say, a teaspoon more, and I have some chopped shallots. That's going to give you that flavor, a little more mild than an onion. I think you're going to really enjoy it. We're going to let that just sweat down a little bit before we come over to the broccolini. Now on broccoli, what you want to do on the broccolini is you just take off the lower leaves because they'll be just a little bit bitter. And there's very few on them, and you're going to be just fine to go. If you don't want to saute them, you can actually put them flat on a plate, put in about a teaspoon of water, cover it with some plastic wrap, poke one hole, and you can pop it in the microwave for a minute or two. So while that's starting to come together, let's dip the chicken cutlet. Now, to save on mess, you can buy these already pounded, but I like to go over to the fresh market on Tuesdays and get the chicken breasts for $2.99 a pound, and then I can take out any frustrations I have by banging them around with my mallet. Boom, and what I'll do is I will pound them out, then I'll lay them out, and I'll freeze them, and I'll double layer them to freeze them. So the shallots are cooking really well. Let's take in this broccolini now because I'm just going to saute it in the pan. So again, just making sure there's not too many of the bottom leaves. We can just pull those off as we go. I love this dish because this is what I call the middle of the week dish. It's really simple. It's very flavorful. So we're going to add a little bit of butter. It doesn't make a difference whether it's salted or not. Now, we've already seasoned the flour with salt and pepper, but I'm going to go back over with a little more salt and pepper. And I happen to love garlic salt. It's like that one little guilty pleasure that I have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit into the broccoli. The broccoli is going to come up to temperature, and we'll toss that around. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start using some zest of lemon. So let's get some in there with the shallots, the butter, so you can see it's going to be a simple butter sauce. When we come back, I'm going to add the wine, turn the chicken, and lunch is almost made. Okay, so take a look at this. I have the shallots and the broccoli cooking up in this pan. Then the chicken cutlets are really nice and brown, lots of flavor. Squeeze in a fair amount of lemon. Now here's the point where you can kind of make it your own dish. Add a teaspoon of mustard, a Dijon mustard if you want, just to bring it that extra bright flavor. And then, of course, what I'm going to do, move that flour out of the way, is now I'm going to add some white wine, okay? Just about a half a cup, 3/4 of a cup. And then we're going to add in 2 more tablespoons of butter. Now, the wine's going to reduce, and then we're going to come over to where the broccoli is, right? So we have this beautiful broccolini. We're going to just kind of lay that on top. We have the lemon juice that's going to give it that tart expression, as I like to say. Get those shallots right in there as well. And then, remember, I mentioned that we sauteed some mushrooms. Even without using salt, you can see the liquid. So we're just going to scatter this right on top. If you wanted to, if you were not counting carbs, you could certainly serve this with a little angel hair pasta. It will really make it nice and flavorful. But as this just kind of reduces down, I'm going to turn the chicken over one more time to make sure it gets that wine sauce all in it. And I got to tell you, I serve it just like this in the pan. Everybody can just come in and help themselves. A little more zest, and we have a beautiful Sauteed chicken with lemon and white wine sauce is ready to go, folks. We'll be back in just a few minutes to take a taste. Well, here we have it. Such a simple dish, but it's something you really want to keep in your catalog of weeknight recipes. Breaded chicken, just flour dip, not breaded chicken cutlets, sauteed in a little oil and butter, sauteed mushrooms, a simple saute, broccolini, mushrooms and broccolini, same pan with some shallots. I just finished it off with some zest of lemon, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, and a little fresh dill for garnish, but the dill also marries so well with the white wine that we use to deglaze the pan. If you want this recipe, just log on to mysuncoast.com. Click on dining. We'll have the recipe up within the next hour or two. You'll see the video. You'll see some great restaurants. You can click on their logo and find out what's happening on their menus and so much more. Now, I'll send it back to you while I tuck into some lunch.